How do you feel when people don't respond or react in the way you expect? Particularly if you've put care and effort into creating something special for them. Well, I'm Carol Talbot, the creator and founder of the Possibility Hub, and in Messages That Matter, I'm in conversation with David Gross as he shares wisdom and insights for your growth and evolution. Hello again, David. And it's this time of year where it's the time of gifting, but it also makes you realize as new things come in, how attached we are to people, to situations, to our way of being, as well as to, physical objects as well. And it's sometimes hard to get that sense of detachment. And I believe you have some wisdom to share with us today around that.
So the story that I have to share is based around Christmas dinner and the preparation of Christmas dinner, or the preparation and serving of Christmas dinner. So when I was a kid, my mom always prepared Christmas dinner, and we would have anywhere from 15, 20, 25, 30 people showing up for Christmas dinner. And my mom is the one who did all the cooking. So there was no one ever really who brought dishes to the table. They would just come and feast on that which she prepared. So the story, the insight that I want to share is in the context of putting together a feast of an offering that we're creating to nourish people. In this case, it's food. It could also be just the nourishment of what we know, the nourishment of our time, the nourishment of our compassion, the nourishment of our heart. Doesn't matter what the nourishment is here, but in this story, it's nourishment of Christmas dinner. So imagine three different people coming to dinner, or three out of the crowd that we're picking on here for the illustration. And the first person who comes in the door, or the first person at the table, takes very little on the plate. So it might be, a small scoop of mashed potatoes, a little bit of turkey, a little bit of gravy, maybe some cranberry sauce and a couple of other things, but not much. I mean, the plate is barely even weighted down by any food. And I look at that and think, oh, that's kind of weird that it's Christmas dinner. We're supposed to be feasting. What's that all about? Then the second person comes in and puts a little bit more on the plate, but still not what I would consider a healthy, hearty meal for Christmas. Then the third person comes and fills that plate. I mean, they're stuff dripping off the edges. It's like, oh. And when that third person comes and just packs it all on a plate, so much so that it's all kind of, oh, got to get to the table quickly because it's all moving around there. To me, interestingly, in reflection, I, as the one who prepared the meal, just putting it in first person here, would feel so satisfied when someone came and filled their plate with the offering of what I've prepared for them. Yes. However, in contrast, the person in the middle here, who doesn't take that much, I mean, they're a little bit, but not that much, but still a healthy amount, I suppose, for someone to be eating, I think that's okay, but it still feels a bit odd to me. But then the questions start bubbling in my mind. Well, did I not prepare enough? Did I not give you the vegan stuff that you wanted? Did I put too much gravy? Did I put too much butter? Did I put something in there that you can't eat? So the question becomes the questions that I ask myself in response or reflection of someone else helping themselves to my offer. And then that takes us, of course, to the very first person who barely put anything on her plate. And I'm thinking, oh man, it's all about, actually, here's the thing. I make it all about me. What have I forgotten? Can she not eat that? Is she allergic to this? What have I forgotten? So I start to judge myself based on what she has taken of what I prepared and offered. So in the concept of detachment or remaining unconditional, I have to remember that I've done everything I can to put the feast on the table. My heart, my soul, all of my energy and my love and my compassion for everyone who's coming is in the dishes that I've prepared. However, I must detach from, disconnect from, perhaps is a good way of looking at it, and be unconditional in connection to how I perceive what someone is taking from that which I've offered.
I love that analogy and example. And what comes to mind is, and you'll resonate with this as well, because we're both in the field of learning and development. And I remember when I was first in the field of learning and development, and doing corporate training. And remember, with corporate training, people have been sent there, paid to be there. Some want to be there, some don't. Some are real prisoners as well, and some are eager beavers, really want to learn. And I used to, put so much effort into the people who really didn't want to learn, to get them, to come to the table, so to speak. We heard the saying, you feed the horse to water and you can't make it drink.
Yes.
So I used to spend a lot of time. And then I switched and thought, it's not my responsibility.
Correct.
If people do not want to be there, then there's not much I can do. I can, in learning and development, are there ways to get people to see that, oh, there's something here to learn, and ensure that it's engaging, that it's enticing, and that they feel excited and in a state of anticipation.
Yeah.
However, I changed my focus to the people who really, really wanted to be there, to the point where I'd often ask an organization that question: does everybody you're sending want to be there? And if they don't, do I have the authority to allow them to leave the program?
Wow.
Now, yeah, and now some companies, a few said yes, because for what reason would you want to force somebody to be in a learning environment where they're just, there's nothing here for me to learn, and I don't even want to stay for the nice lunch.
Yeah.
So, and most companies would say no, which means, you've got potential saboteurs
Yes.
in the session. So that's, where you end up feeling really responsible, of, how people accept, what you're sharing, until you
Yes.
get to that stage where you can realize that some will like it, some will not. Some eat a lot, and
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
do not. And some have different food tastes, and some prefer. One of my friends, I know him well now, but if I used to cook, which all my friends know is quite a rarity, he used to take such a small portion, and he eats very slowly, and yet he'll have a second portion. He may even go for a third. So he does enjoy it, and he enjoys it in a different way. And I
Yes.
think that's also something to bring in, that we have our own way of enjoying or taking in information. Another example would be, when I read a book, I'm a speed reader. I can hardly wait to get to the end. And in the days before Kindle, when we had a live book, I would often go to the end, and
Yes.
or take a flick through the whole thing. And I'm very, very quick. Whereas I have another friend, and literally he'll take months on the same book. And he likes to savor and
Yes.
enjoy it in a different
Yes.
way. Whereas I enjoy it, but the way I enjoy it is to read it. It's like I'm hungry, and I'm
It's devouring rather than
devouring.
savoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is, switching off your own model of the world, and again, coming to the table and preparing that food, whether that food be learning, whether it be, making something, whether it be cooking, whatever you do, coming to the table, having done your best and putting your heart and soul into it. And you're right, having that, not just detachment, but that unconditional, here it is. What you
Yes.
choose to do with it and enjoy it or not is
And
now not my responsibility.
yes, because part of that making of the offering is also not taking it personally if someone doesn't partake fully, or as fully as I believe they should, in what I have to offer. Because oftentimes then I have found that I can slip into self-judgment of didn't do enough, didn't do it well enough, not enough in there, missed something. And if I get into that state of it's not only reflection, but it is self-judgment, really, then I'm going down in a direction of energy that is not going to serve me, and is certainly going to taint the energy of me, maybe in what I create next time, because I'm going to go over the hill or over whatever, way over there to do as much as I can. But that's also exhausting. I don't need to. There's contentment, that's the word, satisfaction and contentment in the creation of my offer, and then remain unconditional, separate from my perception of myself in connection to how someone receives what I've created.
Totally. Love it. What wise wisdom you've shared with us today. Thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure.
also the lovely focus, that taking your focus away from yourself, and
Mhm.
it's gifted to others. What they choose to do with it is up to them.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.